Oh, yeah, it's go time. What's up, my peeps? Today we are packed with my friends, the Yinzers. What's up, Yinzers? RJ, Gina, and Christina.
Hello.
Woo! Yeah, Pittsburgh in the house today. And today we're going to talk about getting seen, my friends, because that's what it's all about. You know, if we're from Pittsburgh, Pat McAfee gets seen all the time. We're going to show you how to get seen. But tomorrow's the big event. Gina, throw down. Where are they going to be at tomorrow?
Hell yeah. So we're going to be over at Studio Me Studios. If you look at RJ right now, you can see he's actually there in person. So you can check how cool the venue is.
Nice.
So we'll be swinging by Studio Me in Uptown from 9:30 to 11:30. Super cool venue. It's actually on the historic Film Row, and it used to be like the Paramount building. So it's really sick venue. It's going to be a ton of fun.
It's going to be sick. Okay, so what's going down here? Because we got to talk about this. AEO, lead gen, and standout branding. You know, I know a little bit about branding, wink, wink. But all joking aside is, I mean, this is something in 26 and beyond. You got to be seen. What do you think, Christina?
Biggest thing is we've changed how we've shopped. I mean, you think about the days of COVID, it seems so long ago, but it really wasn't. Everything has moved online. But even now with the emergence of AI, now we're shopping more there than we are just using regular Google. And so it's really changed now with the way people are buying, how they're trusting, especially how we're moving now. And so it's making sure you're exactly where your people are at the right time.
So how do you guys do that? Seriously, all joking aside, we got to get a little couple tips out here. You know, so Gina, Christine, and RJ. RJ's right at the site now, so he's gonna be a little silent here, but I know he's gonna jump up and down before the show's over. I'm gonna make him do it, man. So RJ, the question I have is visibility. You know, we talk about it all the time. Everybody says that, but where do you start at?
Well, guess what? If you're advertising on Google or Meta or LinkedIn, AI is already in your advertising. All right. So really, it's trying to identify how AI is complementing your campaigns, how you're using it effectively. And really, it's going to tie back to your original strategy. So I'm really excited to talk about AI and ads tomorrow, but specifically advertising on ChatGPT, because that is such a new topic. How do I run campaigns? But more importantly, how do I run successful campaigns off of this new advertising channel?
I love what you said there, seriously. So how do you run campaigns? Because people are so confused now. They're still doing the Google search. And we all know this. Decision makers are already, they know what they're going to buy beforehand because they're chatting on ChatGPT. I don't know about y'all, but I'm on chat every day. Claude, I love them all. I mean, it's scary. So I got to ask you, all on a joking side is, have you ever Googled your name and actually put in ChatGPT and what it comes up with?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be honest with you. I couldn't even create the words they were throwing at me. What about you, Christina? I mean,
I
it was
definitely
like,
did. I'm
holy shit.
certified today, so it kind of scared me because I'm a mom, so I was a little protective. Like, what can this be? And I'm thinking like, okay, we have Skynet, we're just recreating. So for me, it's kind of a curiosity, but yes, and you need to know that because what it's saying about you may or may not be accurate. The days where a lot of us, maybe some of us still had MySpace pages back in the day. Like all these things matter now. And you mentioned like, what's the first thing to do? You need to be clear on exactly who you are, what you do, and who you do it for. Like that's really the triad of the things. And then making sure you have things put in place to trust the receipts. We want to know the receipts now. Because I think a lot of us got burned over the past few years. And ChatGPT, Claude, no matter what you choose, there are a lot of people here being, AI experts. If you catch my, air quotes. So now people want to make sure they're buying exactly what you're selling.
I don't understand.
Oh, I do not understand. Somebody said something there.
My AI in the background.
There's AI in the background. Look at that.
Listening.
So, Gina, bring that home there. Like a lot of people search on Google, but now it's ChatGPT. Tell people out there. I mean, of course, Google's still the big dogs, but the other ones are just catching up.
Yeah, I mean, so Christina is the AI expert, and she's going to cover tomorrow a lot of how you can start to show up in those searches. And RJ's going to hit it from the paid. But really something that's so important for both Google and for AI that I'm going to talk about is that nowadays when AI is so prevalent, every competitor you have now has that competitive advantage. Mm-hmm. They're telling people that they should be making 5 to 7 reels per day, which is insane. And there are people out there doing it. So now there's like so much noise because just about anyone can make an image now. Just about anyone can make a website. People are making whole software systems with AI. So everything is so loud and there's so much noise. And so what I want to talk about tomorrow is like, how do you cut through that? And so how do you build an authentic brand with your opinions, your ideas, and
Mm-hmm.
that are specific to you? And that's the way you're going to start to stand out against competitors in this AI world, where it's like everybody looks kind of good and everyone also sounds kind of good thanks to AI. But how can you really cut through that cookie cutter language and be unique to you? And that's what's performing well. There's a lot of numbers behind that too.
Yeah.
You got that. What I call it, AI slop, right? Get through the slop. Get to the, meat
Just
and potatoes there.
mucky AI slop.
And it's everywhere. I mean, it's even on LinkedIn now, the platform we're streaming on right now. It's like, isn't it amazing? Like everybody is like intelligent now because they can just put stuff in and spit it out. And we're overloaded. In the beginning, it was like, okay, it's cool. But now you can tell when it's like totally AI generated. What do you think, RJ?
Yeah, definitely. I see a lot of the AI comments too, and it's the same comment for everybody. And even these DMs are kind of ridiculous. I think Gina and Christina will talk about this, but what is that human element that you bring, even in ads? So what I'm going to talk about is Performance Max is a Google Ads campaign where you can be everywhere on every Google property. However, what we've seen was the AI system will count conversions, which is a lead, but it doesn't mean it's a valid lead or a qualified lead. And that's where the human element will come into play. So not only are we going to talk about how AI can launch you, make you that much better, but you really still need that human element to elevate your findings and your results.
And can I add on to that too? I will say I just saw something about this when it comes to when you're running advertisements. A different ad agency, they just used ChatGPT as a test, and they ran it through and used the recommendations to publish LinkedIn ads, and they performed 10 times worse because ChatGPT is pulling the steps and how to optimize from LinkedIn's tutorials of how to use it, and LinkedIn's optimizing for spend, not for your own conversions. And so like AI isn't necessarily pulling accurate data all the time. It's reading advertisements, it's reading promotional materials. And so like there always has to be that human element, at least this point, to like really take that data and translate it into what is fact and what is, I don't want to say fiction, but fluff.
Go ahead, say it. You could
That's
say it.
100% lies. I'll say the AI girls say in the room when they say listen, they say it's lying to you. Let's take the fancy language out of it. And you're right. It's like T9. I said sitting in front of college students, they didn't know what T9 was, so I aged myself out immediately. I said, okay, it's guessing patterns. And like for ChatGPT, it's only trained up to a certain date. Unless you say use the web, even then you've got to fact check which web sources. So you've got people saying they're using AI, but they're not creating with the controlled environment behind it. Now, for me, you tell me 3 posts a day, I'm looking at you like crazy. Most of us, we just want to live, not everyone's trying to be the next influencer. So if you are a business owner, you're thinking, do I have to be everywhere? No, you don't. And so that was really the point of the event tomorrow, is cutting through all that hype, cutting through all the overstimulation and saying, listen, the old way of doing business is still here at its root. It's just here's a different medium how you're doing it. So if you're like me and don't want the hot pop and drop on the gram to be able to sell your business, you're going to really love being in this because we're really talking about you just need to be able to dial in. First of all, where are your people looking? Because if you're over on LinkedIn, you're on TikTok, you're in the wrong place to begin with. So it's really, again, about how do we build sustainable practices around what you do. Talking with Gina, we're relevating with that human aspect of you. Please, people still have a personality. I always say pulse before the prompt. So if you're starting with that prompt before it's who you are, you lost, because now you just became ChatGPT 2.0. You are
100%. And we're all yinzers, so we got that lingo.
Yes.
Down, up there. I mean, come on. If I put some kind of fancy word out there, you can hear it with my voice,
From Manny Brothers.
Crick or creek. I mean, come on, Christina, I mean, seriously. We have that Southwestern thing, and we're pinging like we're from Texas. It ain't going to happen. They're like, dude, that's AI generated,
Yes. I'm married to a Texan, so yes.
And by the way, me and Christina are from the same county. Is that crazy?
Fayette
County. Shout out to Fayette County, PA. We love you. Woo! That's all I'm going to say about that. So, RJ, I want to tap into this real quick here before we run out of here, is like paid ads that convert. Okay, this is something that they're going to learn tomorrow. Can all three of you may break this down a little bit, because I think a lot of the audience here doesn't understand what paid ads are. They think they just throw money into like Meta or something like that and get a result. It doesn't happen that way.
I mean, it's about you need a system. In our system, really, we talk about what is your offer. So how do you attract the right people to a high value thing? Where are you sending them? That's the landing page. Where are you advertising? Is it Google, Meta, LinkedIn? And then what is your CRM and nurture once that lead comes in? Because as we all know, Richard, when someone knocks on your door for staffing, is it a one and done, or are you communicating through email, text, throughout the whole life cycle? And that's where the CRM and nurture comes into play. So you need to be thinking about, the system before even $1 goes into ads.
100%. What do you think, Gina?
No, I totally agree. And when you're looking at advertisements, you're catching their eye based on what they're searching. You have a high intent buyer, which is amazing. But once they land on your website or they land on your profile, this is like a conversion moment. And that's where not just visibility, but trust comes into play. And now they're asking, why should I believe you? And that's where the content on your website needs those proof points and that human element and something unique. Because if you spin up just some chat GPT slop on what you do, guess what? That's going to be verbatim what 5 of your competitors are saying too. And so it's really important to make sure once they land on your page, you're highlighting those competitive advantages, you're having a unique voice, and you have the proof points to back it up that it works.
And you know what else I got to ask you, Christina? It's the long game. Tell people after 1 month, they think, well, I didn't get no activity on Facebook. It sucks. LinkedIn, I'll go there. They keep bouncing around. Please tell them that they got to stay with it.
You do. You got to put, I would say punt and run, it's almost football season. So, it starts with a proven offer. A lot of people, they're trying to test some things. So for that, if you want to run ads, of course, this is definitely RJ's land. And maybe you're trying to just build your list at first to test what it is. But you need to start at the human and make sure your offer is what they're looking for. If you're just putting money behind it, you're going to amplify a bad alignment. But it is a long play because this is interruptive marketing. Think about if you're on your cell phone right now and you're scrolling Facebook, how many of those ads do you actually stop and look at? So you need to think about, where are they at? I mean, if it's me and Gina, you better be completely wild about it because we've got kids. So, when you're thinking about
you're competing with 2-year-olds.
Exactly. So I'm thinking about, where are you at in that moment? Are you stressed, or is it a need to have? Is it not to have? Because that needs to be exactly where you start to make it profitable and then begin, like you said, keep nurturing. Because after that, there's so many touch points now before you make a purchase. So this is not a just, you got to date your audience. You can't be just thinking, they're DTF and that's down to fun, y'all. Don't get nasty with it, but it's down to fun. They're not the gate, no man. Doesn't work that way.
100%. I love that, what you guys said. And the thing is, what I talk about, and I always think this is something that's very crucial, is, how many platforms should they be on? I mean, this is something I think the audience needs to know, because so many people, I always say one and done. You can't be just on one platform, but you can't be on all 7 of them because you can never put the great content out.
100%.
I always say a minimum of 2. And it depends, I think, where you're at in your business. If you're just starting, you need to find your voice, your audience, and really your system behind that. Yeah. So definitely a primary and then a supporting. But I think as you grow, then repurposing is your friend. That is definitely Gina's lane. She's an all-star, really understanding how to communicate your message, but what channels would best suit where your audience is at as well, and what should be your anchor content.
Yep, I totally agree. I'm like, if you're brand new and you can't do it right on 10, like one and done is for me to start, but I work with a lot of startups and I say, where are they the most? Let's put effort there. And then you can start to kind of bring in those additional channels once you like build some momentum and bandwidth, but like figure out what works first, because you don't want to be just like breaking your back to like publish on 10 different websites.
Mm-hmm. And I think one of the things that, is tough is like, you can get on YouTube and go down a rabbit hole. Everybody's got a different idea. I think what we can do is we can take tips and strategy, but you still got to put your own twist on it. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You're never going to know what works for every single business. That's like a big part of what I do on a daily basis. It's like, I can tell you exactly how we're going to figure out what works. And I can come in with a pretty good idea of what's going to work for you, but we're never going to know until we put the data points in place and we test it. And I can run some great tests, but every business is different and every industry is different.
Gina, you hit it. Data measurements. How many companies don't even do that? They just see likes and stuff like that, and they think that's data measurements. That's not. Can you guys break it down, one of you, seriously? Because this is something that just goes I go OMG every time I talk to a company
Oh,
about
please let me have this one. Likes do not
Girl.
pay the bills. You can go on my platform now. I'm still under 2K. And guess what? Mama's still cashing checks. Okay. So I think it's really, do not get caught up in this hype because most of the people you see have all these followers, they're not making anything in the back end. I promise you, they probably use ChatGPT to fake the numbers. That's a fact. So you think about one of the most successful business models is a laundromat. There's nothing sexy about a laundromat, but guess what? It's a need. So you really need to be thinking about really taking a look at your numbers, seeing is the attention that I'm getting moving them towards a purchase. Because some of us have different sales cycles too. It might be you need volume if you have memberships. If it's more retainers and you know, okay, I'm going to be still nurturing because maybe I can have this much bandwidth. Do we need big launches? So it really comes down to that. But don't be looking at anybody else's plate. You can see kind of, okay, how are they bonding with their audience? What does their sales cycle look like? But don't get caught up in that comparison syndrome because your people will vibe with you. It really comes down to your values and more importantly, can you promise and deliver on what you're offering? I think it's more of a transfer of energy.
Trust all the way, 100%. And I know people that has 100,000, likes or followers on Facebook, LinkedIn, and all that. They're calling me for a job. I ain't going to mention their names, but it's like, really? And half that stuff could be bots too. It's like, but I got to tell you, here's what I always tell people at the end of the day: stop worrying about them likes. But you know how it is. If you put a post out there and you only get 5 likes, you're like, oh my God, what's going on here? And then our mental health goes down a sinkhole. Our mental health goes, whoop. We're like all sad and stuff. And then you put this weird ass post out that you think is crazy and it gets 1 million likes. I mean, what do you think, RJ?
Well, that's the whole thing why we're doing this live event tomorrow is like we put out content daily on Insta, Facebook, LinkedIn, and it's great. You might get a ton of likes, right? But unless they hit register, the best conversations and meetings are going to happen tomorrow when we shake hands in person and we're drinking this delicious groove coffee beverages and just kicking it, eating pastries, talking about AI and just kicking it. I mean, why wouldn't you want to be there?
I love it. Seriously. Okay. So the last thing, and we're out of here, man. You gave a lot of good strategies and tips. Websites. I don't know if you're going to hit this or not, but like so many people invest money in websites, but please, can we talk about how do you generate the leads to come to the website?
So how do I generate a lead to go to a website?
Yeah.
First, it's you want to talk to the pain. When I'm talking to business owners, they want new opportunities daily, and so we do that through online advertising. But what pain does that business owner have? So you speak to the pain, create the offer that wants them to get more information, drive to a specific landing page that only talks about that one pain point and how you solve it. Don't try to list out all of your 15 services and products and 10 different pages that confuse people. And you just need to be very, very focused on where you're sending that traffic.
100%. I'd say don't brag, but have swag. And so many companies just want to brag about everything they've done. That buyer don't give 2 shits. Am I right? It's like, who cares? You were like top 10 in 2010. I don't care. That's dated,
What can you do for them? It's not about you.
100%. All right. So, hey, I am so excited you guys came on. Sorry I can't make it tomorrow because I got other obligations. But you know what? Before we get out here, whatever. I might just drive down for the coffee. To be honest with you, coffee sounds so freaking good. And me on coffee, look out. But RJ, we're going to just wrap it up with you and the girls. Final thoughts, why they should come tomorrow, man.
All right, here's my reason. You get to shake hands and meet Gina and Christina. And see Studio Me. This is a beautiful location in Uptown. So you got to be here.
There it is. Christina, why should they show up?
This is why this man is married with kids. Your wife did well. Appreciate you. Honestly, if you want to know what's working now, you need to be in the room. If you want to be human, even though we're talking about AI, you need to be in the room. And I'm the same thing. If you want to be amongst, you honestly want some of the most esteemed people I have the honor of working with, you need to be in the room. And you also need to be tuning into the shark too.
There it is. Thank you. And Gina.
Heck yeah. To close this out, the biggest thing that I would say for being there tomorrow is come on by because all 3 of us presenting, we believe in tactical advice. I want you walking away with a notepad that you jotted down, do this, do that. No fluff, no muss. And it's going to be just a ton of fun. We're super chill people. We like hanging out, having a good time. So why not come hang out, have fun, and then actually walk away with some good advice you can implement at your business. It's a win-win.
It's a win-win, and we're going to leave it on this. I'm going to say it on 3. Here we go. You know what we're going to say, right? Here we go. What is it?
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.
Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. Oh, I'm jinxing myself now, right?
I
Let's
know.
go.
All right, guys.
knock-
Hey,
knock
thank you
on
so much
wood.
to my Yinzer friends. If you guys get a chance, the link will be in the comments here. Don't miss it tomorrow in Pittsburgh. See you guys
Thanks,
soon.
Doug.
Thank you.
Take care, guys. We're out of here.